if I had to choose between Jollibee and Manny Pacquiao, I'd choose Jollibee every time. Jollibee sold me my childhood. When I was a kid, I thought spaghetti was supposed to be sweet, covered in cheese, and filled with hot dogs. Fried chicken? I barely respected it unless it came from Jollibee, and Sunday was not simply Sunday. Sunday meant somebody was about to say, "Kain tayo sa Jollibee." I thought those were just personal preferences. But looking back, that was marketing working on me before I even knew what marketing was. Because Jollibee's greatest product was never only Chickenjoy, spaghetti, or a peach mango pie hot enough to remove the first layer of your tongue. Its greatest product was a Filipino memory. And this story did not begin with a brilliant advertising campaign. It began with ice cream and customers asking for something else. Tony Tan Caktiong and his family started an ice cream business in Manila in 1975. But they noticed customers were more interested in hot meals. So instead of protecting the original idea, they followed the demand. 3 years later, Jollibee Foods Corporation was born. That reveals Jollibee's first marketing advantage. It listened before it advertised. Many businesses create a product, fall deeply in love with it, and then spend millions trying to convince customers to care. Jollibee did the opposite. Customers showed them what they wanted, and the company adjusted. But listening only got Jollibee into the game. The next challenge could have crashed it when Jollibee faced McDonald's. The global brand had scale, established system, and one of the most recognizable names on earth. Jollibee's leaders reportedly listed their competitors' advantages. The list ran longer than a page. Jollibee's advantage fit into one line: taste. So it learned the system it could learn: services, cleanliness, and consistency, but refused to surrender the local palate. According to Jollibee Group CEO Ernesto Tanmantiong, the company believed operational gaps could be closed, while its locally preferred taste would be much harder for its competitors to copy. That decision changed everything. Jollibee did not simply bring American fast food to the Philippines. It Filipinoized the format. The spaghetti became sweet, meaty, cheesy, and proudly populated by hot dog slices. Chicken came with rice and gravy. The menu did not ask Filipinos to adjust themselves to a global standard. It said, "We already know how you like it." Jollibee still officially described its spaghetti through its sweet-style sauce, ground meat, hot dogs, and cheese. The same combination many Filipinos associate with childhood celebrations. And that is the difference between translation and localization. Translation changes the words in an advertisement. Localization changes the product, so the advertisement barely needs explaining. But Jollibee's deeper advantage was not hiding inside the kitchen. It was sitting at the table. Some of its influential customers had no salary, no car, and absolutely no ability to pay. They were children. A child sees the mascot. The child was the toy, the spaghetti, the birthday party, or all three, because children apparently understand bundling better than most marketers. The child asks the parent, the family visits, the bill becomes a reward, the reward becomes a memory, and years later that child becomes the parent choosing where to take their own kid. Jollibee continues to build its children's party experience around themed celebrations, meals, party favors, cakes, and mascot appearances. That is not one transaction. That is customer acquisition across generations. And where is the midpoint that changes how you see the entire brand? Jollibee did not just localize food. It localized the Filipino calendar. Birthdays, Sundays, graduation, a good report card, the first sweldo, a first date, a relative arriving from abroad, tiny celebrations that were not expensive enough for a hotel buffet, but felt too important to ignore. Jollibee made itself useful inside those moments. Quick question, what was your childhood Jollibee order? Put it in the comments. And subscribe if you enjoy marketing explained through Filipino stories instead of a man screaming beside a whiteboard. Okay, back to the emotionally complicated beat. Once Jollibee became part of our real memories, its advertising could do more something most brands cannot. It could stop making the food the main character. Quentin Jollibee advertisements often begin with an ordinary Filipino relationship. A parent and child, two friends, a couple, a sacrifice, a missed chance, the tension builds, something breaks your heart, then Jollibee appears. Not as the superhero saving everybody, but as the place where the moment happened. By 2021, the brand and its agency said the campaign had generated more than 557 million combined video views across Jollibee's official Facebook page and YouTube channel. Apparently, Filipinos will voluntarily watch an advertisement as long as you emotionally damage us first. But the smartest part is what happened next. Jollibee moved from telling relatable stories to inviting people to share their own through My Kwentong Jollibee. That matters because a brand becomes culturally powerful when audience no longer needs a company to explain what it means. The customers provide the proof. Jollibee's marketing team has publicly described those memories as including birthday celebrations, first dates, and marriage proposals. Its recent My Kwentong Jollibee campaign have also received recognition for social media storytelling. Filipinos online describe Jollibee as a rare birthday treat, a reward from their parents, something they could not afford often as children, or place they now bring their kids. Those stories are anecdotal, not scientific customer research, but they reveal the emotional category Jollibee occupies. It is not only fast food, it is I remember who I was with, and that becomes even more powerful outside the Philippines. When Jollibee opens abroad, people sometimes queue for hours in winter, rain, or weather that should legally require soup. Jollibee CEO has explained that the company deliberately builds support among Filipinos in the United States first. Then it expanded into crossover locations serving both Filipino and mainstream customers. At one Queens opening during a blizzard, the line reportedly stretched 4 blocks. People were not only waiting for fried chicken. For many Filipinos abroad, Jollibee compresses thousands of kilometers into one meal. The taste, the mascot, the language, the people standing in line. For a moment, another country feels closer at home. And all that visible excitement creates curiosity. Filipinos become the brand ambassadors. Non-Filipinos see the queue and ask, what is everybody waiting for? That is how identity becomes distribution. So if I had to summarize Jollibee's marketing in 6 moves, it would be listen, localize, ritualize, emotionalize, invite participation, then export the identity. That is my interpretation, not an official Jollibee framework, but it explains why the brand became larger than its menu. It listened to the demand, it created food that felt familiar, it attached itself to repeatable moments, it turned those moments into stories, it invited customers to add their memories, and abroad, it transformed nostalgia into cultural pride. Jollibee did not invent Filipino family closeness. It did not invent birthdays, Sunday lunches, celebration, or homesickness. It understood where those emotions already live and made sure the brand had a seat at the table. That is the deepest marketing lesson most companies ask. How do we make people remember our product? Jollibee found a better question. How do we become part of something people never want to forget? Food enters the stomach once, that a memory can bring somebody back for the rest of their life. So, comment your own kwentong Jollibee below, subscribe for more stories about the hidden marketing behind the brands we grew up with, share this with the person who still steals the crispy skin from your Chickenjoy, and like the video so YouTube understands this was educational, even if we just spent several minutes emotionally analyzing spaghetti.